What up? It's Dad, and I'm back. We're back with another D3. Dad and Dinero discussions. That's right. We do this every other Sunday at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Horror Movie Dad, that's me. K. Dinero, that's him, who will be joining us shortly. He has been very punctual recently. Let's see how punctual he is this time. So, going on some history here. I think this is going to be about our 17th or 18th D3, Dad and Dinero discussion. So, what we do every other week, we discuss horror movies. And I see that K. Dinero has joined us. Punctual. Very punctual. So he will join us and we will discuss this week's discussion. We are discussing It Follows. Yes. We switch spots. We go back and forth. This was K. Dinero's choice, a.k.a. Kenny's choice, for us to watch and to discuss. If you notice, I got it going on in the background right now. So, without further ado, with K. Dinero. Here he comes. He's coming. And there he is. What's up, bro?
What up, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing lovely.
Lovely.
Yes, sir.
So, tell us about your day, bro. Tell us about your day.
Today was pretty easy. I did a lot of laundry. I woke up and I guess I overloaded the laundry today in my washing machine or in my laundry machine. What the fuck is it called again? What is it called?
This is so interesting right now, bro.
So I overloaded my washing machine, and guess what?
What?
It was filled with water, and all the water dumped into my fucking garage. So I spent while the Kansas City Chiefs game was on, I spent at least half an hour using the towels that I was gonna use to clean. I had to use all the towels again. They put all on the floor. Like, you know, when something happens and you don't know what to do, you don't know whether to go left or right, and just shit's hitting the fan, and
Right.
start getting the nervous farts. I started getting the nervous farts. I was like, dude.
The nervous.
I didn't know what the fuck to do, so I just started farting.
I'm sorry, I've never been in that situation before. I don't know about.
It happens. Kids get nervous farts all the time.
Kids get nervous farts.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, I guess we'll get into what we do. Right? What do we do? I am Horror Movie Dad, and he is
K. Dinero.
And we do Dad and Dinero discussions, aka D3, hashtag D3.
Yes.
It was we discuss horror movies. We watch a horror movie, we take 2 weeks, we watch it, and then we discuss it, and we take turns choosing which horror movie. Kenny chose this one, K. Dinero, and what did you choose?
So this week I chose the movie It Follows, which came out in 2015.
Right.
KD, a.k.a. Mr. Hot Sauce.
There we go.
Bet your ass on Mr. Hot Sauce.
There we go. So it's nice to see we have some folks joining us. I appreciate it. Feel free to tap in anything you want. Say whatever you want. Get in our discussion. We're talking It Follows today. And I gotta say this though. Whenever it's your turn to choose a movie, you choose the ones that are great, that we already know that are great before we watch them. I end up choosing some random peculiar one that we have no idea what the turnout's going to be. So it looks like we know what each other's styles are going to be, and that's nice though, because we got to bring it back every once in a while.
Absolutely. Larry Trotter says, "This is my Friday. I'm drinking tonight."
Hey,
you know what, Larry? I'm drinking with you too, buddy. Cheers to that.
Cheers, guys. So I got my Crown Apple going, and I want to say what's up to everybody who's joined. I saw James. I saw Elizabeth. I see my buddy Jason from college. What's up? This is awesome. So we'll keep going, and we'll keep going strong. Do we want to do our theme song, or we just want to get into it, bro? I'm going to give you that option.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's just get into it, man.
Let's get into it. All right.
You know why? You know why I say that?
What?
Is because I need to get my ass in gear and do an actual horror movie dad intro that I think that we should start incorporating. As much as I like the Creep Show, okay?
Of course.
We got to get some original shit going down. And I will definitely get into the studio and make something happen for you, bro. So let's talk about It Follows, okay? Let's talk about this movie.
Beautiful words. I like to hear that. Let's out with the old and in with the new, bro.
Yep. Okay.
So you start it up, buddy. You start up. I got it going in the background like we've done past few weeks. So let's
go. So here is now this quite possibly is probably the most, I want to say the cast in this is so small. It's probably the smallest cast of a movie that we've ever done. And here I'm gonna name some of the people that you need to know in this movie. Okay, so Jay is the main character, right?
Right.
All right, that's her on the top. Okay, and I believe, I'm not sure if it's her sister or her friend, but that is Kelly that you see in the background. We also have Paul, who's right there sitting down.
There we go.
And then we have Yara, who basically shouldn't even be in this fucking movie. Like, her role in this movie is so insignificant. She should have just been a ghost. Like, why the fuck did you even have that actress in there? You see the girl on the couch right there?
Yeah.
You are insignificant. You shouldn't have been in this movie. You suck. The only reason why you were in this movie was for one reason, and we will get to that. All right, so let's get to the beginning of this movie, right? The movie is called, what's that?
Should I go ahead and read the synopsis, or we just want to?
Go ahead and read the synopsis.
Okay. For those who have been living in a dark alley sewer for their lives and don't know anything about It Follows, shame on you. But if you don't, I'm talking to you if you don't. It Follows, 2014. It doesn't think, it doesn't feel, it doesn't give up. After carefree teenager Jay sleeps with her new boyfriend Hugh for the first time, she learns that she is the latest recipient of a fatal curse that is passed from victim to victim via sexual intercourse.
My favorite.
Darth. Yeah. Jay, I said Darth.
You've been watching Star Wars?
Well, look, hey, did you see this?
Oh, there it is. That has to be it. That has to be why you said Darth.
Dude, it channeled through my shirt, dude. Death, Jay learns, will creep toward her as either a friend or a stranger. Jay's friends don't believe her seemingly paranoid ravings until they, too, begin to see the phantom assassins and band together to help her flee or defend herself. So that's the synopsis right there. This is what we're talking about. It Follows. Bring it in.
You could watch It Follows on Pluto for free, and you know what was pretty cool?
It's on Tubi as well.
On Tubi too. It was very strange watching this movie because normally I get like 8 or 9 commercials. Like Basket Case had fucking hella commercials, dude.
Right.
But the movie only had like 3 commercials, which was weird. It was like a commercial every 30 minutes. So I don't know if you had the same experience as me, but I really didn't have it. It didn't play that many commercials. So let's get straight into the beginning of this movie. All right, so the movie is called It Follows, and there's a reason why it's called It Follows, because something follows you and you don't know what it is. So,
right.
In the beginning of the movie, and I will say this, we see a very hot young female. I don't know how old she is, but she was wearing, did you see the red high heels she was wearing? Like, yeah. I was like questioning, like, did you just get laid? Like from a hot date? Like, did you just wake up in the morning and put on fucking heels?
I think she might have been like she had to get out of there quickly, and those were the only shoes she could grab.
Okay,
they were in the vicinity.
Okay, so watching this movie for the second time, I guess I didn't notice the heels, but the red heels made her look good. She was a very good looking female, and she's panicked. she is basically running from something that we don't know, and she goes to a lake or a beach. I don't know. But she goes, it's probably like midnight, maybe 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and she calls her dad.
This all takes place in Detroit, so it's probably a lake.
Okay, it is a lake then for sure. Good knowledge, horror movie dad. So she basically knows that it is coming. Her days are numbered, and she calls her dad, basically, I love you, and then bam! You see her on the beach with her fucking leg. So her leg was like basically twisted, going the complete opposite way, and you could see like an opening in her kneecap, and basically she got fucked to death. That's the only thing that I think.
Her leg was pulled backwards.
Yes.
We have no idea at this moment. You have no idea what the hell happened. Just that she was running from something, and then all of a sudden it was like boom, flash, and you see her body totally mangled, and that was it. And then we move on to where you find out who all these characters are.
Okay,
and
so
they're all in high school, right?
that's what I'm thinking, or just out of high school. I'm not sure. But what we do is we go basically, and you know what's funny? It starts off and it introduces Jay in a swimming pool. And it's so funny. When I watch this movie, water has such a big role in this movie, which is kind of crazy because the more that I watched it, I was like, oh, swimming pool, water, beach, like, you know, like it starts to add up. But we will talk about that later. But Jay is swimming, and you know what I noticed is the birds chirping in this movie was fucking hella loud. Did you get that? Like the bird sound, like all the sounds that you could hear, like was amplified. That definitely.
That's a good acknowledgement there. What I noticed that It Follows does really well, and we can talk about it more a little bit, but later. But everything that goes on in this movie, like you always, whenever you watch a movie, you have your main focus, and the movie lets you know what your main focus should be, right?
Yeah.
Movie, the main focus is the entire screen. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but everything that's going on that screen, you can look at and find something going on. And I think it was done on purpose. So, including sound.
We'll get to that because I did some background information, and there was an interview with the director who talks about certain things in this movie.
Right.
Shout out to the two little boys who are peeping through the bushes trying to get a glimpse, of Jay's goods while she was swimming. Shout out to the little two guys. You guys are my hero. Okay. So we get introduced to Jay, who is basically the main character. And another character who we get introduced to is Paul. And pretty much Paul is the guy who always ends up finishing last. He's the guy that he tries too hard and always fails. He gets in the friend zone. He's just that guy that just can't seal the deal. And there's probably a reason why he just hangs out with a bunch of girls, because probably these girls just relate to him as a really good friend. So we're introduced to Paul, a.k.a. Mr. Simp.
Yeah, he's the dude that tries to get with the chicks, but it's just a little bit too nerdy. He's not like, he doesn't really have too many friends that are dudes because they think he's a nerd. So he gets to hang out with the girls because the girls won't judge him. But he has a secret crush on one of the girls. So he's one of those guys.
He has a very big crush on Jay. And while the movie's playing, I will say this, It Follows, and we both talked about this. The score for It Follows is so good. Yes. And I did some research. They didn't have the music for this movie until 3 weeks before its release date.
Wow. Yeah.
So the director could not find any fucking music that could go with this movie. And I'll tell you this, if this movie did not have the soundtrack it did, I would say that I would have turned this movie probably off within 20 minutes of watching. Just saying.
Wow. So you're saying it wouldn't stand alone?
It would not stand alone. It has to have the music.
Okay.
The peanut butter sandwich, no jelly.
Okay. So the score is one of the best scores I've ever heard for horror.
Dude, ever. I agree.
It brings it back to the 80s. It's like John Carpenter-esque. Disaster Piece, I believe, is the band who put the score together. And it's epic. It's epic score throughout. And I like how it doesn't bust out the best score of the movie until the end. And kind of like that because the score goes with the movie. Like, the score just keeps getting better and better as the movie goes on, like the movie does to the climax.
Dude, another fact about this movie. Jay wore puka shells. She wore a puka shell necklace.
Oh, here we go. Dude, that's all we wore was puka shells in high school, bro.
Yeah, so like when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, she got puka shells on. Like,
such a stupid fad that we went through.
Yes, what was it, 1998, 99?
Yeah, around there.
She had the puka shells on. I saw that. I was like, yo, shout out to the director because you're probably our age and you just wanted someone to wear some puka shells. All right. So, Josh, why don't you introduce who Hugh is and how Hugh basically gives Jay the it disease.
The it disease. Gotcha. So Hugh and Jay, they're dating, okay? Just starting to date. I think they go off of their first, they've dated a couple times, but they go to the movies or whatever. And one key scene that I kind of liked, I really like the build up to what's going on because if you haven't seen this movie and you're watching it, you don't know. And hey, there's Hugh right now putting her to sleep. So I'm talking about, but before it was happening here. But they go out and I love they're playing this game and pointing out people and he points to this one girl, do you see her? And he goes, no, I don't see her. And all of a sudden he like freaks out. He's like, what? They're in the movie theater. He's like, you can't see this girl? Okay, we're gone. And then he's like, I don't feel good with it. And they left. So that was weird to begin with. But so we find out later they end up sweet talking, whatever, and they end up having sex in the car. All right, I'm speeding up a little bit here.
Okay, so my question to you is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's just rewind it a little bit before they have sex in the car. Dude, how cool is it to see that movie theater with a fucking organ in there?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I don't even think I've ever been to a movie theater where they actually have an organ and there's a maestro playing. Like, what the fuck? That was like crazy. Like I thought they call that the Wurlitzer.
Okay.
It's called a Wurlitzer. And Wurlitzers were only played at the movie theater, and they had a maestro who would play the Wurlitzer.
Oh, okay. But like to get everyone hyped for the movie.
Yeah, and then it would.
Hey.
Or, when there'd be a crazy scene, the Wurlitzer would fucking play the fucking music. I mean, that'd be kind of cool listening to live music with a movie going.
Dude, look at you with the knowledge right now, bro. You're blowing me away, man. I think it's the back of the hat.
Maybe my knowledge just went up because of this Gucci hat.
Right?
All right, so remember what game they played too at the movie theater? She was like, I want you to pick two people, and I get to guess who you would rather switch your life with.
Right.
And then he goes, she picks out some guy with a girl, and then she loses, and she's all, well, who did you pick? And he's like, I picked the little boy. And he was like, because when you're a kid like that, you don't have to worry about nothing. And then he said, like, I
have your whole life ahead.
I want.
You have your whole life ahead of you.
Yeah, exactly. So hint. And then another thing, okay. Let's flash back to the sex scene, all right?
Flash forward. We haven't gotten to it yet.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that's right where we were at.
Yeah, so continue with the sex scene.
So they have sex in the car, all right? And right after they have sex in the car, it's consensual. And then Hugh gets on top of her, chloroform straight to the face, knocks her out.
Yeah, that was not consensual. That was rape.
That wasn't consensual. No, the sex before was consensual. Afterwards. So I don't know if you would consider this rape or not, because I guess it's considered rape because of after the fact, but before they were consensual, and then afterwards they were done having sex and he walked around the car and he knocked her out and he put her in this, as you right now in this wheelchair, tied her up in a wheelchair, and is
Do
forced
you,
to look at something.
do you think the reason why she got it? Now this is just the theory that when he originally had sex with her, he didn't come, and I guess he has to come in her in order for it to actually work. Do you see what I'm saying here? Like maybe he was like, "Oh, I didn't finish, so it's not like we had sex, but it didn't. It wasn't like the full blown like no."
No, I don't think that, dude. I
Then
think
why did he do that then? Why did he chloroform her? I don't get that. I don't understand why the director did that.
he wanted to make sure that she understood how serious the situation was. Like he wanted to do it like this to scare the living crap out of her, because if she ends up dying, it ends up coming to get him. So he wanted to make sure that, hey, this is serious shit.
Okay.
So basically we find out as she's struggling here, and I'm gonna put my head in front because it's gonna show some nudity. So sorry people, can't show nudity. But he ties her up and tells her that he has something following him and that he just gave it to her.
Yeah, and he breaks down. He breaks the whole thing down.
Yeah, he breaks it all down, saying that I got it from somebody else, and now I'm giving it to you, and you can give it to somebody else. And you're a girl. It passes through having sex. You're a girl. You can easily find somebody to give it to somebody else. But when that person dies, it comes back to me. So it's basically some sort of entity, supernatural entity, that comes after you. And he said it can be anybody. It can be a random person walking down the street. It could be somebody you know, but they're walking towards you, and there's no running, but they keep coming for you no matter what. And if they touch you, something will happen. You'll die, whatever. We don't know. So, and the reason why he ties her down is so he can show her that someone was coming, and it was a naked lady walking towards her. Basically,
And then okay, and I think that naked lady was his mom.
Was his mom?
Yeah.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, I think his mom is dead, and I think that this entity. Remember, he says it takes. It could be anyone. It could be someone you loved. It could be your friend. And like, I'm gonna rewind. I just don't like the whole sex scene thing. Was weird. Like, I would have been happier if they would have just had sex regularly, and then he just like tied her up. And I guess how the hell was he gonna put her in the wheelchair tied up without chloroforming her? So I get it.
I think he wanted her to be scared, and he wanted her to know that this was fucking serious.
Yeah.
Life or death. And if I just sat you down and sweet talked you after we had sex and told you about it, she wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, I agree. It's just so, it was so bizarre. I kept on thinking to myself, I was like, why did he do that? And then I was like, oh, okay. And then I was thinking like maybe he had to raw dog her, and I don't know. Anyways,
how does the sex happen? How does
I know, right?
It's real.
Let me see. Hold on. Oh, dude. Okay. Right after, this is where the soundtrack comes into play. When he drops Jay off at her place and she goes back in with just wearing her, like the lingerie that she was in, that's another part where the soundtrack comes in and it almost like gives you goosebumps. It's like that sound that just like, what the fuck just happened? Like, holy fuck, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Great soundtrack. The entire movie is it's just so dreadful. You know, and the one thing about It Follows, it really, really brings me back to really good horror. It's really hard to find a really, really good horror movie that just has all the buttons to press. And, you know, this is a movie to put faith back into the horror genre, I thought, back in 2014. I thought around that time, horror movies were kind of getting stagnant a little bit with going with all that jump scare type stuff and found footage things, and it was starting to get a little, I don't know, cliche, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
The 80s were crazy cliche, okay? But that was a turning point. But this was like cheap thrills was the name of the game in horror right now. And then this came out and totally just said, you know what? Horror is back. It actually brought my faith back into horror movies during 2014 because my faith in horror movies, I'm going to tell you right now, I lost a lot of faith in horror movies towards the mid 2000s, and I kind of went on a hiatus a little bit. Not a hiatus, but I kind of just didn't have faith. I was watching a horror movie and just going, no, no, no. And then I brought it back, and now I'm way back into it. And It Follows was one of the movies that got me back into it, to tell you the truth.
So, and I'm glad it did, because for me, you know, there's certain things that when you think about certain things, like you know, when you go into Round Table Pizza and you smell Round Table Pizza,
oh yeah,
there's a certain feeling that you get that you can't get anywhere else. With this movie, for me, it was the soundtrack, and I will always remember this movie to the soundtrack, and that's why it just makes it so much better, because it has this sound that you can, like, it has that John Carpenter sound, but it's still original. And here's my theory too. Here's my whole theory.
Yeah.
I think that this movie was a bad nightmare. I think the movie wasn't even based in reality. I think the movie is just a really bad dream. And the reason why I think that is because when you look at the movie, right, these kids have cell phones, but inside the house, everything was 80s.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that's in my notes too. Go ahead.
Dude, no flat screen TV, a black and white tube TV, like the sound of the birds, just a swimming pool with like, and we'll get to that later, right? And these kids are all with their friends the whole time, just like when you have a dream and you're hanging out with your friends. But do you ever see your parents in your dreams when you're hanging out with your friends?
Dude,
Where the fuck were these fucking
there,
parents?
There were no adults in this movie besides the entity that came and showed itself as an adult, or the teachers.
Right?
But dude, you gave me chills because I didn't think of that. And
dude, that's the first thing that I thought. Even the phone, they had a fucking phone, a rotary phone. Like, dude, everything was like, and then the weird fucking seashell phone or whatever the fuck she had.
It was a Nook. It was like one of those virtual reading things. They called them.
That's the only thing that was like, okay, this movie is now. This movie takes place in 2015. But the cars that they drove, all the cars they drove were old.
Right.
Like, it's crazy. It blew my mind. So,
and for a second, I'm going to agree with Larry Trotter right here, who just mentioned that Rob Zombie went old school with House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil and Halloween. I agree. Those were good movies as well around the same time. So, but it was just so hard during this time when this movies came out, the 2010s era. It was just tough to find something great. It was so tough, just for me personally. And I would expect anybody else's opinion about what they think, but that was just for me. So
okay, so there is a part where, okay, she has sex with you and she basically has the disease where you see it. Mm-hmm. Dude, man, this is when the movie gets really, really good. And she's in class. And here's another perfect example of, I think this is a dream. The way that the classroom looks, the way how everyone is sitting, exactly. It looks outside, and like, you always have those dreams where like you're being chased by something, but you don't know what it is, and you keep running. Right. So right here, she sees something, but why does she see an old lady? And that old lady looked fucking creepy as fuck, bro.
And like
that bitch gave me
hospital
goosebumps.
And a hospital gown too.
Yeah, what was that?
Slippers. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I think it was just the first thing to notice, and I'll mention this now. Whenever I watch this movie, I barely ever looked at the characters. I was always scanning the background, and that's what made it so cool. Is that you're always looking at the background because you can finally see somebody walking towards them, and you always, is that it? And there she is. You can kind of see her, in the background a little bit. But anyway, we're not watching the movie. We're talking about the movie.
Oh, wait, hold on. This is where we will talk
lady.
about Greg. Greg, okay, the guy that
There's
just
the
looked at
lady
her
right there.
is Greg, but we'll talk about him later. He's another character.
Right. So, before this though, I think. Do you remember? I think it was after. It was after the whole thing with Hugh. After she came back to the house, Jay was in the bathroom, and she just was looking down her underwear. Do you remember that?
Yeah, what was that?
Why? Like she was like just staring down, looking at her privates, and I was going, "What's she looking at her? What? Why?" And it just showed it her in the bathroom. It was awkward, and then that was it.
Maybe because she thought it wasn't it. It was just an STD.
I don't know.
Hallucination.
Looking down there, and I just had to bring that up, and I was like, "Dude,
hold on. There's the lady.
You're an expert of women looking in their pants, so I was going to ask you."
Well, normally it's after I've had a lot to drink, and we both have had a lot to drink, so things just happen. But anyways,
I don't know, but I just thought that was odd because it was just a cut scene that went straight to her standing in her underwear and her bra. Then she looks down her panties, and then the scene's over, and I was like,
"There's no explanation of why."
No, none. And I was trying to think of an explanation of why. So, if anyone knows, throw it out there, please.
Maybe she looked at it. You know what it was? Maybe she looked at her vagina and was like, "Thank you for ruining my life." You know what they say, right? They tell most men, well, if uncles, dads, like older guys will always tell younger men, be like, "Hey, Kenny, don't let your dick ruin your life."
Of course.
So maybe she was having a moment where she was just like, "Yep, my vagina ruined my life."
Yeah, what the hell did I get into? Or what the hell gotten me?
Okay. So
all right, go ahead. So we talked about the first time she sees the actual entity, and she's in school and she runs away.
The real weapon of mass destruction.
Oh yeah.
Woo!
Why? Hey, wait, I'm gonna tell you right now. That is the reason why we've had 2 world wars and all this crap is because men's dicks. I'm gonna tell you that right now. The only reason why this world is fucked up is because of men's dicks.
All right. So look, right now, if you look up at the screen, we are exactly where. Dude, this is awesome. I love how you play the movie because we can talk about what's going on right now in perfect order. In this scene, Jay tells Kelly and Paul about Hugh having sex with her and how she has this entity that keeps following her. And this is when she tells her friends. And shout out to Kelly and Paul for like being real ones and like not being like, "What, bitch? Are you fucking high? What the fuck are you doing?"
If I came to you and said this shit, would you believe me?
I don't know, dude. It would be a dream. It would be a dream if you told me that, and I would believe you because it was a dream.
Okay, there you go. I got real friends in my dream.
That dream theory is some.
It is. I never thought of that. I never thought of that though. And
yeah, it has to be a dream, dude.
But it was the question I had. I'm like, why the hell is everything so 80s? And then she has like this high-tech fucking Nook thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so we're going to talk about Paul. And this is fucked up, too. This is where Paul is their friends, but they doubt Paul. So Jay is like, "I'm scared. I don't want to be by myself." And Paul's like, "What's up? I got your back." And then her friend Kelly's like, "No, Paul, you're a creep. You better lock your door, Jay." It's like, Jesus Christ. Can Paul just get like a break? He's a good guy. He's a nice guy. He's not going to do any Hugh shit. He's not going to do some fucking chloroform shit. Give Paul a break, okay? He's a good guy.
Get off Nook and your gap teeth and fucking be nice.
All right, so let's see. Okay, so Jay can't sleep, and so she actually goes downstairs and she hangs out with Paul. They're watching. Oh, again, they're watching a fucking black and white movie. I don't even know what the fuck movie it is.
You know what? I was gonna look into that. I told myself after I watched this, I was gonna look in to find out what movie it was and mention it on here, but I never did. Apologies.
Well, look at right now. You can actually. We're talking about exactly what's happening right now.
Okay, so start explaining the scene, and I will look it up.
All right. So Paul and Jay are talking. They're just being friends. And this is when shit starts to get crazy, because this is when Paul understands that, you know, there's something really going on. They're both sitting down, they're both watching the TV, and bam, you hear a window break. Mm-hmm. That's scary. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you're a homeowner, if you're a kid, if you're anybody, if you're in a house and you hear glass break, bruh, that is some fucking, your dick, I don't care how big your dick is, it's going to go like this.
Oh yeah, bro. Hey, I think, I don't know if I told you this or not, but it was like a few months ago. And so I live kind of live up in the hills, and I got a lot of wildlife around me. We get like raccoons, possums, deer, sometimes fox, whatever. And one night it was like 2:00 in the morning. I hear this pounding sound.
Well, hold on. Shout out to Scare Tactics Official, who just joined our live. I think it's the first time that they've joined. We're talking about It Follows. So, yeah, thank you for joining. Thanks for the love. All right, so keep going.
Yeah, welcome.
Welcome.
So, anyway, I thought it was a deer out behind my window. Normally it happens, they kind of run on the side of the house. And long story short, you can hear there was a deer on my roof, and it was trapped on my roof.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and it was running because I have a one-story house, and I go up against a hill, and the deer jump on my roof sometimes. So it was a doe, and it was literally running back and forth, and it was going like, and it was crazy. It woke me up, and I had no idea what the hell it was, and my freaking daughter woke up hysterical, and I go outside, and I got my bat in my hand, I got this flashlight, and I look up in my backyard, and there's a fucking deer on my roof, bro. So,
how the fuck did you get the deer off?
Dude, I had to try to run it off. So I went to one side of the house to get it to go off the way it came on, and kind of chased it alongside the house, and it finally jumped off. But dude, that was a mission, bro, and that scared the living shit out of me. Imagine being sound asleep, and then on your roof you hear this. Nuts, bro. Anyway, sidetracked.
No, so right now is the scene right now where the window breaks. Shout out to Amir Hamza for photography. What up, dude? Thank you for joining. I really appreciate that. So
this is Dad and Dinero discussions, by the way. We call it D3. I'm Dad, horror movie Dad. This is K Dinero. We discuss horror movies bi-weekly every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is probably like 17th to 18th one we do. We're talking It Follows. So
all right. So in this scene, Jay hears the loud glass breaking, right? And then another scene, and this is another scene that is really fucking crazy. She goes into the kitchen, right? And she finally is face to face with it. And let me tell you what it looked like.
Can't show it.
Oh yeah, you can't see because her boobies are hanging out. But dude, her face was jacked up. Her teeth were jacked up. And she's peeing herself?
Yep.
Peeing, or wait a second.
No, she's pissed.
No, wait a second. Because in order for you to get it, you have to have sex with somebody, right? Was she peeing, or was she?
No, it was pee, bro. It was yellow.
Well, you know, you can't really tell the difference because they're both clear. But hey, who the fuck knows?
Get herself.
Let's look. Hold on. Okay, she's coming. Hold on. Wait, is she coming or?
Oh, we can't see that part.
No, she's coming. She's not coming.
No, that's pee, bro. No, that's pee, bro. It's piss. It's piss, man.
Squirting?
No, it's piss.
Oh, tie it. I'm
okay.
putting my hand up.
You're all putting your hand up trying to block it.
All right. I
Uh,
think we're good, Josh. I think we'll be all right. I think we're gonna be okay. Don't
no,
worry.
we'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's
I've seen more Instagram
this
models show
this,
fucking skin.
this scene right here was one of the scenes that is rewind worthy, to where you watch it once and you go, what?
You
And
know what?
and then you go, boom, I got to see that again, and you rewind it and you watch it again.
You know what time it is, right?
To that scene.
Yep.
That scene.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh,
I'll just
you like my
like that scene. That scene. What's up?
You like my
Oh, what's up, dude?
Yep.
Nice, man, dude. I have one of those.
I heard if you put your dick on it, it makes it bigger.
And then it follows you. So that scene, like I told you all before, this movie brought my faith back into good horror movies. That scene where it is just so chilling and dreadful, to where like I was just in awe, and it's one of those scenes you just rewind.
Josh, do you have a shot glass handy?
I don't. I just have this.
Well,
I'll take a sip with you.
I know, but you want to take a big sip?
Okay, I'll take a big sip.
All right. Hold on. Let me get this.
The thing is, I can take the rest of this in one gulp, I think.
Okay.
But I'll have to.
Shout out to so it wasn't a kill, but it was a class. It was a rewind scene.
Right. It was rewindable, like, for real. All right. We're cheersing to that scene. That was about a shot I just sipped. So what do we drink, Kenny? What's kind of the this is what we got going. It's almost like a tradition now with what we drink during this thing.
Yeah, man.
So it's the Crown.
Shout out to Crown Apple, and shout out to Pluto. Shout out to Tubi. Love y'all.
Right.
We don't have any affiliation with Tubi or Pluto at all. Okay.
Or Crown Royal.
We just feel like cool stuff.
So, all right, we'll go forward. We'll keep going now. So, let's see. I mentioned. So what's next? What happens next? What do we want to get into next, Kenny?
All right.
So what I do like is,
who is the tall guy?
Standing on the roof?
No. Okay. So there's a scene, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's a scene, right, where the girl's peeing, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then she goes into her room.
Oh, runs away.
Her friends come inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the one fucking scene where you see Yara. Oh, okay, Yara. You're knocking on the door. You shouldn't have been in this fucking movie, Yara. You suck. Okay?
We know Kenny hates Yara, by the way.
So, all right, they're in the room. There's a knock on the door. They're all, who is it? And they're all, it's Yara. And she opens up the door, right? And then all of a sudden you see this tall guy. Like, you see this, like, really weird-looking tall guy. And you see him another time, I think 2 more times. But what the fuck? It went from a girl showing her titties with peeing, squirting, and then showing tall guy.
I think it was showing one tit. Wasn't it a sideways hang?
Yeah, it was like one. It's a teat or a tit?
Yeah. There you go. That works.
Is it a teat or a tit?
Either one.
A breast.
There we go.
A breast.
There we go. I don't know. He had to duck through the door.
In case you guys didn't know, I love titties.
No, I had no idea.
All right. Okay. So, who's the tall guy?
I know. Just I like we said, the entity, it can show up as anything. So I think what the entity is trying to do, the entity shows something to scare you or to trick you. So I think this one was in mode to scare.
Larry Trotter says, I have a shot of Jack myself. Larry, you know I love you, dude.
Bring it up.
Take that shot, bro.
There we go.
Larry's the man.
Yeah.
Right, so it's the entity. The entity changes forms. It could be your friend. It could be a family member. It could be someone you love. Maybe Jay fell in love with a basketball player when she was in high school. I don't know. But what happens is she gets scared as fuck, and her friends are like, Jay, what are you doing? And she gets on a bike, and she goes to a park, and
Right.
it's a swing set, right?
Right.
So here's where another character comes in. And this is why I love this movie, dude. Like, the way that this movie is filmed, you have your characters, you have your main characters, right?
Right.
And so there's a scene, right? They're on the swing set. She's like, Kelly, Paul, like, this is it's after me. And you see in the distance, another character comes into the movie, and this is Greg. And Greg was the same guy who was in Jay's class where they caught eyes real quick. No, actually, they didn't catch eyes.
I call Greg jogging pants and slippers. That's what I call him.
Jogging pants and slippers, Greg.
That's all he wears in the entire movie, jogging pants and slippers.
Yes, yeah. And do you remember TC?
Yeah.
He looked like TC, bro.
Oh.
TC was in the movie, bro. Okay, so
bro.
Greg was undressing Jay basically in class. He was bored, and he's like, I want to get up in that ass. And so somehow, some way, how the fuck did Greg know that Kelly, Paul, and Jay would be at the park at like 1 o'clock in the morning?
I think he saw them. I think he saw her run out. He saw her run.
Okay. Oh,
right.
Because that's right, because they're neighbors.
He lives across the street. He saw her run out, and he was like, "What the hell?" On the bike. He saw her on the bike because she rode a bike.
Larry Trotter says TC from Magnum PI. No, we have a friend named TC who shout out to TC. He just looks like him. So that's
yeah. She went out on a bike out there, and so this guy's like, "Everything okay?" So anyway, that was the deal, and then he gets involved with everything, and I guess I can kind of fast forward it and say that eventually he kind of builds a relationship with Jay a little bit and tries to ease the tension by helping.
But guess what? Though?
By helping her.
We find out later in the movie that Jay and Greg have hooked up before.
Yes.
Okay. So here's where this movie gets hella funny, and here's another reason why I think it's a fucking dream. Greg comes through, and they basically go in his fucking 1978 fucking family fucking wagon, and they're just driving. It's just like, we're just gonna drive, and we're like, we don't know where we're going, and this is another reason. Let's go to an abandoned house, right? Oh, it's cool, dude. There's an abandoned house here. There's an abandoned house there. Which one are we gonna go to? Let's just go to this one. They go inside the house. Bro. They got fucking Coke cans as ornaments hanging in front of the fucking windows. What the fuck?
So, you don't know the Coke cans in the windows? You don't know about that?
No.
Dude, that's, those were all hanging there because...
Oh, shit. Look.
Do you want to know why those were hanging there?
I know, but look behind you.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Do you know why those were hanging there?
Why?
They're hanging there because that's where Hugh was hanging out at while he was being followed. That's why they went to this place, because this is the address that Hugh was at. He put all those Coke cans and bottles in windows so he can hear people coming through the windows. So it's like an alarm.
You the man, Josh.
So they're trying to find Hugh because they want more answers. So they basically find Hugh, and Hugh explains everything to everybody. And then they understand. Everyone understands. And then this guy, what's the neighbor's guy's name? Greg?
Yeah.
Then he says, well, she says she wants to get out, so let's get the hell out of here. And they go to like some beach house that was her parents so they can get away.
Bro, I want the viewers right now to look at Josh's TV screen. If you guys are true horror movie buffs, how funny would it be? And I want you to look at that TV screen. How funny would it be? It doesn't happen in the movie, but if she opens up the medicine cabinet and finds a puzzle box, and then she like opens it up, and all of a sudden like Cenobites come through, and it's fucking Pinhead, and he's and like Pinhead asks,
It could work. It could work with
and
this.
then somebody goes, Jesus Christ, and he goes, not quite.
Hey, that'll work for me.
But don't you get Hellraiser vibes in this house?
Oh yeah,
Hellraiser 1 vibes.
with a bloody mattress on the floor.
Yes. Well, that was Hellraiser 2. Or no,
Yeah,
that was Hellraiser 1.
No, Hellraiser 1. It's in both.
Yes, it was in both. Okay, so this is where Paul, the good guy who never gets laid, who's friends with all the girls, and I called this, he is in the Playben den. Because you couldn't use Playboy, because your ass would get sued. So he talk right now. He finds a Playben.
Playpen.
So Paul goes into the Playben den with hella jerk-off tissue. Yes, jerk-off tissue! Right there, look. You was fucking jerking it, bro. He was like, fuck this, man. If this
It's like,
motherfucker's
it's following me. It's following me.
as fast as I can. All right. Paul opens up the Playben, and he finds out right there. Boom! Hugh. Got an old fucking friend. And that's where he got it from. It has to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we don't know who this girl is. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Boom!
Right.
There goes the dynamite. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
That is the person who most likely gave him it.
Right.
I think this is a very important scene in the movie. I mean, you know, that's where Hugh was, and it's funny because why the fuck would you be in an abandoned house and then all of a sudden you go to a random high school and you go into the office and say, hey, let me look at all your fucking yearbooks. I'm going to try to find who this person is. And the person behind the
Like,
desk
oh, sure.
is like, sure, I have all of our yearbooks. Would you like to look at 1995? Would you like to look at 2001? Would you like to look at all of our yearbooks?
I remember
Sure.
that person.
See, look, what the fuck? This is why it's a dream, Josh. It's a fucking dream. Let me go to fucking Sarah High School where I graduated. And I'm just like, you know what? Hey, I graduated in 2000. I want to look at every yearbook I want to look at the last 10 years of yearbooks. And I'm trying to find somebody that looks like this person.
They're going to go, oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Did you find them?
They'll look at you and go,
sure.
they'll look at you and they go, what? Get out of here.
What the fuck?
We need to save the privacy of our students.
Right? What the fuck happened to privacy? Oh my God. Right here. Look, they're in the office. Do you guys?
Oh, you know what? You know what was cool about this scene, though? I don't know if it's going to happen. It's probably going to happen right now. But when it does, the camera angle does a 360 shot.
Yes.
It goes all the way around. And then you see that person walking.
What was that? I didn't even.
One person walking. And then it just comes around.
I didn't write that in my notes, but we all seen it. What was that? What was the 360? Why?
I just think it was just some good cinematography to show the situation, or just to show that, hey, you know, there it is. You can see as it scans through, there's someone walking directly towards the camera, and we all know, okay, that's the entity, but then it just spins past it. Like you don't notice it's there. It's almost showing that the characters don't know that the entity's there, and that's why it just kept going. But you know as a viewer that it's there, but the characters don't.
And then check this out. Let's go back into a car with no idea where we're going to go, right? And then all of a sudden end up at a lake house.
Right. Because they just need to get away. So at least all our friends are there, and basically they go to this lake house and they're prepared, you know, now to help her out. They sit in the open area, and then she gets attacked again. But this time No one sees it because she's the only one who can see the entity. They can't see it yet because they haven't had it.
Yep.
So then they're all sitting on the beach, and her hair goes up behind her, and that's the entity. And this is where they find out that this shit's true.
It's real.
Real.
It's real.
It is. So pulls up her hair, and then what's his name? The dorky guy that's hanging out with them. What's his name again?
Oh, get this. Hold on.
Yeah.
Before they go to this random lake house, we see a little bit of jealousy. We see a little bit of jealousy in Paul because Greg's riding the motherfucking 1978 family wagon like a boss and does this little hand thing. And Paul's like, nah, hell nah. But because Paul has no balls and he has no fucking guts, he's just going to sit there and just let it happen.
Tell you the truth, though, Paul's got guts, but not when it comes to chicks.
Paul does have guts. And
he's got guts big time because he's the one who reacts first. He's always the one that reacts first to help her and does the shit that needs to be done. But when it comes down to talking to her and sweet talking her and tell her feelings, he's a wuss about it. Oh, and we have KD buffering. You're buffering, Kenny. Better put your phone in the freezer. So anyway, as he's buffering, he'll come back. As they go to this beach house, and we're way in front of what's going on here. As they go to the beach house, we lost Kenny. He'll come back. So, as I said before, they're all sitting around at the beach, and her hair gets pulled up. It shows they're all hanging out, talking on lawn chairs, and you see the entity walking from behind. The viewers are the only ones who know this entity is coming. No one else does. So, yep, we lost him. So, basically, the entity gets to her. You see her hair come up, and it shows it from a different perspective to where you don't see the entity, and it's just her hair. So they run into this shack, and everyone's like, what are you running from? What's the deal? What's the deal? And the entity breaks in, and it gets strange. She jumps and runs back into the car while her friends are chasing her, and she drives off, and she's gone. Yes, very intense scene. Very intense. While they're chilling in the shack, it's like a boat shack, I think. Chilling in the shack, and the door gets busted through, and this little kid like crawls through, got dark eyes, and that part. That I told you that this wasn't too much of a jump scare scene, but that was a jump scare, and it was a good jump scare coming in. That was the only time where I kind of went, oh, like that, kind of got a little jump from it. It was good. So wait, we got somebody saying, and it was her friend with the gap. Yes. Okay. I forgot to mention the one that Dinero hates. I already forgot her name. The one with the gap teeth who's always looking on the nook. She is the one that was walking on the beach behind, and she was the one trying to trick her. And here we go. Kenny's back. All right. So he's coming back. But basically, we're at the scene now where she drove away from the beach house. And I'll let you know.
Her name is Yara.
Yara, thank you. Yara.
Fuck Yara. Get the fuck out of this movie. Get out of here.
When it comes to the end of the movie, I got two things to say about her, which you'll be happy about. But we won't get but now we're back, and her friends know, and now they're going to the plan of what they are going to do. How are they going to get rid of this thing?
Yep.
So their plan, we don't know, is to go to a high school or something like that has a swimming pool, and that's their plan, and that's all we know. They're going back to a swimming
pool. Did you notice, real quick, this is the only movie, and maybe the director has an obsession with straws, but every time these motherfuckers would drink sodas, it would be with a straw. Like, I don't know if you caught that.
I did not.
Next time you watch the movie, they're all drinking out of straws, and all this, bro. There's one soda that Kelly drinks. It was called fudge soda. I was like, what the fuck is fudge soda? It's another reason why I know this is a dream. Tell me you've seen fudge
back
soda.
in the day, I used to walk on 25th Avenue when I lived with my parents, we'd walk down the street, and one of the liquor stores had chocolate soda.
Shut the front door.
I used to get it like almost every time. Yeah, chocolate.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So if it was called fudge, I'm guessing it was chocolate soda. But that's 80s right there. That's an 80s soda. So that brings you back to it might be a drink.
Right?
Yeah. So, but now we're at the plan, and they have the plan to go to this swimming pool, this big like Olympic-sized pool, and this is when, right when they come through, they're walking down Detroit, and they're talking about how the suburbs of Detroit changes to the
ghetto. Shit. Hold on.
Yeah.
We missed a fucking very important part of this movie.
Bring it up.
Okay.
Bring it up.
So remember, in order, and this is a crazy scene, in order for you to get it not to follow you, you must have sex with people. The more sex with people that you have, the chances of it following you has to get this person, that person, that person.
Right.
Bro, do you remember?
I know what you're gonna bring up.
Yeah. She goes, she drives her car and she sleeps on the hood of her car, okay? She walks down to a beach and she sees a boat with 3 guys in it.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, she takes off her shirt, she takes off her pants, and she just walks straight into the water, and we don't know what the fuck happened.
Did she or didn't she, though? Because the entity was still with her.
I don't know, but why did they even show that scene?
Because I think she was planning on trying to give it to one of those guys, and I really think she regretted it and didn't do it. I think she suckered out.
And that's when she goes back to her room, and Paul tries to shoot his shot, and he's like, "Why did you let Greg do it?" Mm-hmm. And this is the ultimate kill. She says, because Greg wasn't scared.
Right. And we go back. She ends up we skipped that she had sex with Greg. And Greg.
Oh, at the hospital.
At the hospital. And Greg ends up, she keeps asking, like, do you see it? Do you see it? And Greg didn't see it for like 3 days.
We missed a bunch of parts. Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
We've been spending a lot of time on scenes, and I started rushing. So, but anyway, she has sex with Greg, and Greg says he doesn't see anything until he's at home.
And what happens?
And so
we did like a speed warp. I
think what happened is because you left.
I know.
And then I just kept talking, and I completely forgot about Greg.
My bad. I don't know why I don't know why I did that. So we're back on track. We're back on track.
Don't even worry about it. I had to leave like 3 D3s ago because my son was screaming. So okay. I'm going to give you guys warnings now, okay? Every time we do these D3s, a lot of the time I'm here by myself because my wife is working. She's a nurse. She works night shift, and it's me and the kids or something. And every once in a while, I'll have to deal with it. All right, they're young kids. One time, my son was screaming. I'm in the garage right now, and I heard somebody screaming, and I was like, "Kenny, hold on a sec." And I left you alone for a good 5 minutes, and I had to go put my son back to bed. So hey, it's all good, man. We got lives, bro. We have bandwidth problems, family problems, life.
So Jay looks out the window, and she sees Greg, who he banged her in the hospital bed, you freaky motherfucker. And yeah, wow. Talk about fucking having no fucking filter. But anyways, she's like, she goes to the window, and then all of a sudden it's like, Greg looks like when you're playing Red Dead Redemption, and it's like they're in their fucking their one piece. What are it's in the long johns.
Long johns.
Bro,
Red Dead Redemption is their long johns.
Redemption long johns, bro. He was in his John Marston long john.
John Marston long john.
Right? Yeah. He was, and so, which was crazy because what does he do? He goes into his own house, right? He breaks the window. Dude, did you see him? Like how he like goes into the house?
Yeah. Yeah. He
He's
like
like,
squirms in there.
it's like you didn't even go. You went in like this. He's all.
And so she thought, and this is the thing that shows that the entity is intelligent, because the entity showed itself to her as Greg, so she wouldn't be able to go help him.
Yes.
And
Yes. This is the crazy part.
the entity is after Greg now, and that's and so
this,
she
this
sees that.
is the
Yeah.
This is the weird part.
Yeah.
She goes up the stairs.
She realizes it's him after he breaks into his own house.
And it's a lady in a robe again. Uh-oh. What are we at right? Okay, good. We're not at that scene yet.
Wait, what? Oh yeah.
In a robe. It was so weird. He goes.
We have to go along with the movie. It's just in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, Mom?
Yeah.
And then, like all of a sudden, like the door slams, right? And again, I think his mom was having sex with him and she killed him.
So this is where I was going to raise the question to you as well, is that so entity was his mom at that moment,
because it can be people that you know as friends or people that you love. So he visioned his mom and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
And his mom was the robe was open. His mom was showing too. So yeah. I don't know what's up with this entity liking to show topless women.
That's the director. That is.
But no, but there was a bottomless man too.
When?
Standing on top of the roof.
I can't remember that scene.
What? How do you not remember?
I don't remember it.
No.
I wrote notes. Look at all the notes I wrote.
All right. Well, I don't want to jump forward, but this is the scene to where we finally see how the entity attacks who it's trying to get. All right. So the mom ends up jumping on. Well, it's not the mom. Looks like the mom. The entity jumps on top of Greg, and like it looks like she's like dry humping him, I guess. And then they're holding hands, and their bodies are like melting together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it looks like then it shows Greg, and Greg is like face is completely pale and he's white, like his blood was all sucked out of him. Mm-hmm. So my question is, does the entity have sex with them to death, or is the entity just like stealing their soul and their blood or whatever? You know what I mean?
We will never know. But from what I think, Elizabeth
fucks the life out of them.
I think it started with sex and it ends with sex.
There you go. So it's some sort of, hey, it's a supernatural STD.
Maybe that's why she looked in her fucking chonies.
Supernatural STD. That's all this is. It's the brand new STD coming out. Stop worrying about COVID-19. Worry about It Follows, the new STD that's going to come get all of you.
Don't worry about a UTI. Just worry about IT.
Yeah, worry about IT, bro.
Wait, hold on. Freddy Krueger 1428 just joined. What's up, Freddy Krueger 1428? I think this is the first time he's joined our D3.
Right.
So thank you for joining. I think it steals their souls. I think I got it. Hold on. I think it steals their souls and lives off their blood. Yo, 650 Hippier, did you watch? Have you seen It Follows? You can watch it for free on Pluto, and if you haven't seen it after watching tonight, you should watch that shit. And shout out to you, bro. You've been solid, man. You've been on our shit for a minute right now. And hey, folks,
we appreciate the steadies.
Yeah,
steady viewers, and we also appreciate the new ones who come in and check us out. Even if you're coming in, because I do this too. I don't know if you do this, Kenny, but I'll randomly have some of my people that I follow show up as live, and I'll jump on that live, and I'll watch it for like maybe 30 seconds, and I'll jump right off just to see what's going on. So I'm even going to give a shout out to those people that come on and jump right back out, because at least they're interested in something that's going on.
650 Hippier. When you go to bed tonight, just go on Pluto If you don't have it already, or Tubi, download it on your phone. Again, we don't work for Tubi, we don't work for Pluto, and again, we don't work for Crown Royal. But you can watch It Follows for free on your TV or any streaming device that you have. And let me tell you something. Watch it. You'll fucking like it. It's a really good movie.
You want to know why this movie's good? Is because we've already been talking about it for an hour and 10 minutes. This is the longest we've ever talked about one movie. We had that double feature, and that's when we went long, but this is the first time we've ever talked over an hour about a movie.
This is good, man.
We're supposed to keep it within the hour, bro, but who cares?
We're breaking the rules, man.
The rules of our deep.
Hold on. 650 Hipper said, I'm already drunk and I smoked a fat ass backwoods, so I'm going to throw that shit on right now. Yeah! Do that, man! That's
complete recommendation. So, okay, so I want to get to the part with the guy standing on the roof. You don't remember that?
I don't remember that.
So when they leave, it's right before they have the plan to go to the swimming pool.
I must have had to take a piss or something because I don't remember that.
I'm going to have to fast forward it. But anyway, so right before they go, they have that plan to go to the pool. And
look at Greg. Look at Greg being scandalous, talking to those girls. Greg just wanted a nut, bro.
That's
Greg,
after he had sex with her, though.
What?
After he had sex with her.
Yeah. So
bring it to other people. So anyway, but right before they leave to do their master plan, which is the climax of the movie, they leave the house and they're all in the car together. Not Greg, because Greg's already dead.
Yep.
They're all in the car going this plan, and the score kicks up, and she looks over at the house that they're leaving, and there's the entity standing on the roof of the house as a naked man.
Why? I had to have went to the bathroom. I had to. I wrote.
Did you go to the bathroom during the movie?
I did.
You did. So you didn't pause it.
I didn't pause it.
Oh, that's.
I was listening. I was like, I just go take a piss. Apparently, I missed the naked.
It's not a long scene. It's like maybe 15 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. We're talking about the naked man.
We don't know who the naked man was. It's the entity. The entity was the naked man at that time, but he's literally standing on the roof. You cannot see his Johnson because he's got the 80s muff. So just letting you know, another thing that tells you it's the 80s muff, bro. We watched 2 80s muff movies in a row, 2 D3s of 80s muff.
Hey, bro, shout out. Hey, look, we're not affiliated with Manscaped, but if you guys want the best cut for your balls and around the, manhood, Manscaped is the best thing. You're never going to get nicked. You're never going to get cut. You can use it. You can use it in the shower. It's not going to cut you. So shout out to Manscaped. We have no affiliation with Manscaped. We have no affiliation with Pluto. We have no affiliation with Tubi or Crown Royal.
Dude, you're doing a straight commercial for someone who didn't even pay us.
I know. We have no affiliation. But if you guys like good quality shit, listen to what we're saying.
Yeah, we love fucking fur sausage over here. Good one, 650.
Oh my god. Okay, so we are at the part where
they're going.
They have great and Paul finally has an idea. And you know what he says to Jay? He goes, "Do you remember when we first kissed?" So Paul has a little bit of history with Jay, okay?
Well, they were best friends since they were little, so.
Exactly. So they kissed, right? And this is where we have the element of water. Because remember, in the beginning of the movie, Jay is in a swimming pool.
Right.
When they go to the beach house, there's water. They go to their old high school, which is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And it's a swimming pool. So why don't you take it from here, Josh?
So this is where, right before they get to this old high school, the school, whatever, this is where the score just grabs you. This is where the main score of the movie just they busted out at this time. You never heard this part of the score yet. And this is where it goes. And this is that main score that just gets you going. They get into this swimming pool, and they start setting up all these electronics all on the outside. Their plan is to get the entity into the pool, and then they push all the electronics in the pool and electrocute it. That's their plan.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it doesn't go as they wanted it to.
Wait, hold on. 650 Hippier says, you say score, what do you mean? Okay. The score is basically when you watch a movie like Indiana Jones and you hear dun 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 dun.
Background music.
That's the score. Like it's
Background
the music that plays in the background. It's not necessarily a song, but there it is.
Dun 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 dun.
Are you sure?
Okay, wait, ready? Ready? Wait, you ready? Bow, wow, wow, bow, wow, wow.
What the fuck is that from? What is that from?
The movie we're watching. Bow, wow, 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 wow.
Which is the best score ever.
Wow, wow.
And this is when, come on, Kenny, you got to know this one. I know, right? Fuck. So they go to the high school with the swimming pool, and the best score plays.
Right. So, So we know their plan doesn't work. It's a failed plan. And so then they tell Jay to keep, the entity comes in, and they tell Jay to point at it so they know where it is, and they try to attack it. So Paul's like shooting a gun at it or whatever, and guess what? He shoots right through the entity, and he shoots your best friend in the leg.
Which you have no fucking...
You don't even care.
You shouldn't even be in this fucking movie, but bitch, you got shot.
Okay, so you don't care. I don't care. None of
I laughed. I laughed.
Listen.
I laughed.
None of her friends care that she got shot. She sat there the whole time, holding her leg, going, and no one cared.
Nobody gave a fuck. You know why? It's another reason why this is a fucking dream. Because sometimes you have dreams where there's like a person in your dream that you've never met before, but they're just fucking there.
Right.
Yara?
Yara.
Oh, you got shot? Oh, sucks for you. We don't give a shit.
And she just sits in the background the whole time, holding
She's
it.
like, I got shot.
No, she just sits there like this the whole time.
Yeah.
And no one's even around her. Yara, are you okay? No one cares.
She's all, bitch, I got shot.
And Paul shot her. And Paul didn't even care. He's like, oh, I shot her in the leg. Whatever.
Like, okay, doesn't matter. I'm still shooting, bitch.
Get the fuck out of the way. Why are you in the way?
Nobody gave a fuck about her. That's why, Yara, the only thing you did in this movie is you sat on a couch. You sat in a fucking car. You went into an abandoned house. Nobody gave a fuck about you even when you got shot, bitch.
So you want to let them know how it finished off? How they believe they killed the entity?
Yeah.
So basically, what did they do? They shot it in the head while it was swimming underwater?
They did the Scooby-Doo, bro. They Scooby-Dooed it, motherfucker. They're like, let's put a fucking... Where did you get the bed drape? What the fuck? What the fuck?
You just called it a bed drape. You mean a sheet?
A sheet? Let me get my bed sheet. Hold on. Where's it at? Where's it? Oh, I got a bed sheet right here. Well, let's put it on it.
And then he shoots him in the head.
Boom.
And basically, then it shows there was a whole epic battle. We don't need to go into what actually happened. If you want to see the battle, watch the movie. But then it shows
yes.
It shows the water get all bloody, and then it ends, and it goes into the hospital where your best friend is laying in the hospital reading her stupid little book. And I'm gonna bring this up right now. There's one thing I hate. I don't hate it. I guess it's a pet peeve of mine. I hate watching people eat.
What was she eating?
She was eating a fucking sandwich in the hospital bed and talking at the same time, and I wanted to blow her brains out. She's like,
Bro, you know
I'm like,
what?
stop eating. Stop eating and talking. You're killing me.
Dude, I bet you she got one of those shitty ass sandwiches that you get in vending machines. The same fucking sandwich you get at 7-Eleven, where it's like a tuna sandwich or like a fucking ham and cheese sandwich with no mayonnaise.
It looked like it was like a tuna fish sandwich, but she's all eating it and talking. I was like, please stop eating and talking.
Hold on. Velvet Horror just joined. What's going on,
Velvet?
We are talking about the movie It Follows, and we're doing our review. So you just caught us on the back end, and we're gonna give you guys a review on that shit. But
yeah, before we move on, now we're kind of towards the end of this, and we went over an hour, which is the first time. And so we'll conclude this up. We'll wrap it up. We'll give our star ratings, and we'll go from there.
But real quick, we forgot something.
What did we forget?
Duh. Paul fucking came through with the headshot.
Oh, he did.
Guess what Paul gets at the end? He gets some pussy. Yeah.
And it's a
pussy. Woo!
You know what? It ends up being a sequel ending, and I'm very upset that we haven't seen a sequel yet. Why haven't we seen one?
The director says that there will never, ever be a sequel.
Then why would he end it on a sequel ending? So, but that's fine, because the sequel is never going to be as good as this. But
yeah,
this whole idea, the idea is awesome, and you can go on forever with it.
So at the end of the movie, sorry, 650 hippier, we just got to say it. Spoiler alert, Jay and Paul have sex. God, Paul looks so scared, dude. He looks so like he must have been a virgin. He had those virgin eyes.
But he shot a gun like a man because he shot your
but he did. He deserved it. But
he shot your best friend too.
But we know what happens. The movie is called It Follows. And you know what's so good about this movie? It breaks its own fucking rules. It broke its own rules where you think that this entity, it is dead. Nah, motherfucker, you just shot him in the head and he bled a lot. You know from before you can shoot them and they come back alive.
Right.
So I'm happy for Paul. He got laid. You know, he really liked Jay. And I think this is where we find out that Jay really liked Paul too, because she never wanted to hurt him by having sex with him. Right. And when she felt like it was the time was right, she fucking did it. But guess what? They're holding hands, they're walking down the block, and it keeps following.
Right. There we go. And it ends.
All right, hold on. Let's see what
it ends.
I hate when they break their own rules because I'm usually really attentive to everything and it has to make sense. And when it does not make sense, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Seriously. But you know what? And it goes back to my fucking theory. This movie was not real life. We just watched a really fucking crazy ass dream. And I'm telling you.
That's a good theory. That's a good theory, bro. That's a really good theory. So, but now it is time to break it down and give us.
Hold on 1 second. 650.
Oh, here we go.
Maybe it is a sexual demand trying to get everybody to understand that having sex will connect you to other people without you realizing it.
We're getting deep. Hey, we're getting deep here.
That's deep, man. Like seriously, like boom. Like I'm not. I agree. I'm a Michael Myers fan. That's tight, Larry. Michael Myers. Shit. So,
hey, me too.
What are we doing next, Josh?
So we got to give our conclusions here. We got to give our final thoughts. And since this was your choice, you got to start it off this time. Give us your final star rating and why. Out of 5 stars, you can use a half star if you want. And go for it, bro.
When I first watched this movie, I gave it. I really liked it. I gave it a 4 out of 5. All
Okay.
right. But the second time I watched it, I liked it even more because it made me notice more things about the movie that I didn't notice the first time. And that's when I realized who directed this movie is fucking genius. And because of the nostalgia, because of the no flat screen TVs, tube TVs, black and white, no new cars. They got cell phones, a fucking shell phone. I've never seen that before in my life, but there's so many things in this movie that make me just like love the movie
Right.
and the score. So I would like to give this movie still a 4 out of 5, even though there's way more things that I liked about it. Again, it just made me like it even more, and I'm sticking to the 4 out of 5. I'm not giving it a 4.5. I'm not giving it a 5.
Okay.
But 4 out of 5 is what I had before going into this movie, and I'm gonna still keep it with the 4 out of 5, and that's not bad at all.
No way. Not at all, dude. It's a good rating. It's a very high rating. It's hard to get something like that. So I'll go and say that everything in this movie was put together great. There's no slouch in the acting department. The entity was creepy. It was dreadful. The cinematography was excellent. The score was excellent. Just the creepiness all the way around. It kind of reminded me of an old school horror movie, but more in today's world. This is the third time I've seen it actually. So
Wow.
yeah. So I had it as a 4 out of 5 after I first watched it, just like you. But after the second time I watched it, I liked it, and the third time I liked it too. And I'm moving it up. I'm going to 4.5 out of 5 with It Follows for me.
Damn.
It's hard to find. It's really, if you look back, if you think about movies, about horror movies, like how many horror movies would you really rate a 5 or 4.5 out of 5 stars or a 10 out of 10?
Dude, do you know what?
Handful of horror movies that
Yeah.
you give like a 5 out of 5 or a 10 out of 10 to. Really?
No, I agree. And you know what's so good about this movie? It gave me Goonies vibe.
Goonies.
It gave me Goonies vibe, dude.
How'd it give you a Goonies vibe?
Because they're kids. They're still a little bit, they're probably, maybe one generation older than all the characters from Goonies, but it was like no parents. It was, real friendship. There's people out there that use you. There's people out there that just, what's your real motive? And then you find out who your real true friends are. And so the adventure, the unknown, you're just a bunch of fucking teenagers. You're shooting guns. You're fucking getting followed by fucking crazy entities I love sex. And the movie's about sex, but that is the least part of why I like this movie. It gave me Goonies vibes for show, and it just is one of those movies where like I can watch it again. Like I relate to these characters. It has everything to do in life about people that people that interact with each other. There's always this person. There's always that person. There's always the person that's getting stepped on. There's always the person that's trying to take what you have. And when you go through all these things, you really find out who your real friends are when shit hits the fan. So I love this movie, man. It like Goonies vibes. Goonies vibes for sure, man, but just a little bit older.
Right. Dude, good call, bro. Good call. I don't think I have anything else to say about it, man. I think we said our piece, bro, about this.
Dude, I even talked to Chris. I was like, yo, we're doing fucking It Follows. Even Chris was like, I love that movie.
Yeah, dude, I remember I recommended it to him, and he was like, bro, this is good. I'm like, it's hard to get Chris aka Savage C, to like a movie, to really like a movie.
Yeah, man. The director, I don't think I would feel disrespected if they came out with a sequel to this movie.
You would.
Only because you cannot, you can't make it better. And if I don't care how much money you have.
What about a prequel, like an origin story?
Maybe.
Only if it's the same director.
Only if it's the same director and we find out who Hugh, aka, holy shit, we didn't even talk about. Hugh wasn't even Hugh. Hugh was Jeff. Because they found out in the fucking yearbooks that Hugh was Jeff.
Jeff, Hugh. Crazy. I think that's it, bro.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts, man? Any last final words?
I think this is every D3 we do, it gets better and better, and I can't wait to do the after party, bro.
There we go, man. Let me do my little thing here. So this was Dad and Dinero discussions D3. If you missed it, if you didn't see it all, don't worry. I'll post it on my IGTV, on my Instagram at Horror Movie Dad. Also, in the next couple days, I will put it on my YouTube channel, Dad Watches Horror Movies. Subscribe to that as well if you haven't done so, please. And we will see you in 2 weeks for our next D3. So I will choose
your choice.
My choice. I got to think about it, and I'll let you know. But 2 weeks from now, we're doing it again. So stay tuned. If you don't know, this is K Dinero. If you don't follow him, follow him. I'm Horror Movie Dad. If you don't follow me, follow me. Hey, it's fun. All right. So I will join you in the after party.
Give me a text and let me know when it's cracking, baby.
I will. I'm going to upload it right now. So if you guys missed it, don't worry. It'll be up online on my IGTV in about 10-15 minutes. I'll see you soon.
Let's go.
Peace.